say? Dollar bill, y'all. What
Sold.
is going on, everybody? It is Tuesday. Show Me the Money Club live Tuesdays, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. Just depends on where you are in the world. You could figure it out. But we are live now, and we are live on Tuesdays. You can catch us on YouTube. You can catch us on Rumble and Twitter and Facebook and LinkedIn. And then there's also the audio form of the podcast if you're listening on there. So there's thousands of downloads that are going on there, which is awesome to hear and see. So what's going on, Sergio? How you doing?
Sold.
Sold to the highest bidder.
Sold to the highest bidder. I'm doing good, buddy. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing well. I'm doing well. We got quite a bit going on today. We got quite a few topics. We got a couple of announcements coming up in just a moment. But let's do the rundown real quick so you guys know what's going on. There were a lot of comments too before I even get into it. So Connie, Kunai, if I screwed that up, I'm sorry. Janet, we did see him. First, if you got deactivated, somebody got deactivated. Honestly, the best thing to do really is to go to arbitration. That's pretty much all you can do. We don't have any in with Uber or Lyft to be able to do anything like that. But especially when it comes to false complaints, that's something where, again, that's best with arbitration. You can take them to arbitration, just depending on where you are, though. There's things like that. Connie, I did tell Sergio just before we went live.
If you sent it, I got it, Connie.
Yeah, it just might take
I get like 100 a day now. So
yeah, it just might take a little bit to get to, but we do appreciate anything you send. Sergio does, take a look at everything, make sure. So I just want to make sure with that. Everybody else, what's going on? Jeff, William, Dolores, what's up? Stephen Bell, how you doing? But yeah, so let's get into the rundown. First topic we're going to be talking about in just a few minutes is Sergio for sale? What's going on there, Sergio? Are we going to get you bought by Uber or Lyft? Who's going to put in the highest bidder?
I don't know, bro.
We're also going to be talking about the new car requirements when it comes to comfort. We got a lot of emails talking about that. So we're going to be talking about what's going on when it comes to comfort in cars and vehicles, things like that. We're going to be talking about, are things getting better since schools are now going back in session? Colleges are back in. A lot of schools around the country are back or going back in the next week or two. Is the summer slowdown finally going away? We'll talk about that. Also, we're going to be talking about how Chicago is now coming up with their city ordinance, very similar to what Minnesota is doing. City of Chicago is doing the same for Illinois. Let's see if Illinois, the entire state, will become next after that. And we got a couple of fun things going on with what's going on with Chicago. So Chicago drivers, the next few weeks, you're definitely going to want to make sure you're watching Show Me the Money Club and also paying close attention to what's going on in your particular city when it comes to that ordinance. We're also going to be talking about Uber raising the age limit of new drivers in California. Instead of being 21, it's going to be 25. And we're going to talk about what's going on there. And also all those drivers that are 21 to 25 that are already signed up on the platform in California. What's going on with you? So we'll be talking about that. And then we're also going to be talking about our gigging for the financial freedom segment. And that is talking about planning. Are you actually planning for your financial freedom? And then also we're going to be talking about Jeff, our good friend Jeff is not going to be taking any Lyft AI bot support crap and some autonomous vehicle troubles. And not only that, we're going to try to open it up to you guys. So if you want to come on the live and air your grievances, or, if you want to ask some questions or whatever it might be, we're going to try doing that at the end as long as time does permit. So we'll kind of talk a little bit more about that, the rules, about coming on, things like that. But if you want to be coming on, just make sure you are going to be in a little bit quieter of an area, just so things aren't going crazy. If you're watching us or anything like that, during the time when you want to come on, just turn off whatever medium you're watching us on, whether that's your computer or tablet, phone, just so we don't have that feedback loop. Otherwise, we'll have to take you off. We're going to limit to about 5 minutes as well, too. We'll put the link in the chat very soon when you can do that. So if you want to do that, by all means, can absolutely do that. But first, before we get started, we do want to thank today's sponsor, Mymo. So if you're looking to level up your financial game and also kind of what we're talking about with our financial to freedom segment, this fits in perfectly. So let me introduce you to Mymo, which is your ultimate financial companion. Mymo is the mobile app designed for self-employed workers like you, and it brings all your income sources together and effortlessly tracks all your earnings across all of your gigs in one easy use app. That's not all. Mymo also helps you hit your financial goals by automatically tracking your progress, helping you stay motivated and earn more every step of the way. Mymo users who set a goal in the app usually make up to 12% more than users who don't, which means you can get to your goals faster. And when it comes to taxes, Mymo has you covered. Get free tax estimates as you earn, so you'll know what you owe, and which will also help you save serious money on expensive accountant fees. You can even get answers to important tax questions for free instantly with the Mymo's built-in AI accountant. Click the link in the description below for more information and to download the app. It's free, so why not get going with it? All right, Sergio. So,
All right. Did you do that
Steve,
with one
Rideshare
breath, buddy?
Rodeo, new
Did you
member.
did you do that with one breath? That was awesome.
I don't know. Maybe I did.
Yeah. So
I don't know. I've been working out a little bit more, so it helps get your endurance a little bit more.
yeah. You know, I know your walks 4 miles a day with your dog. So you know, I catch Chris all the time when he's taking a walk. I'm like, hey,
I know.
yeah.
We were on the phone the other day. I think it was what, Sunday or something. We were on the phone, and we were all the way, like, pretty much about half the entire walk. We were on the phone. So,
I like the screen name on this Abby Momtrepreneur. I love that Momtrepreneur instead of the
nice.
gigpreneur, Momtrepreneur.
Yeah.
Is Mymo available in Canada? We will inquire with Mymo and get back to you. Shoot me an email, sergio@therideshareguy.com. So, should we get into it? Am I sold? What's happening? Yeah, I have two offers, people. So, you know, this is the last show. So, you know, I got an offer from Uber, and I'm going to leave Show Me the Money. And unfortunately, you know, money talks, bullshit walks, and I'm out of here. So, but Chris doesn't even know this yet. And this may come to a shock to you guys, but I was sold to Lyft. April Fools, you mother, whatever you are. So here you go. So, you know, Chris, a couple of weeks ago, Lyft showed me the money in the way of 2 earnings guarantees, right? So I did those. You know, the name of the show is Show Me the Money Club. You show me the money, I drive for you. I mean, I'm not going to sit and say no to money. And then last week they put out a 38 trip $552 bonus, right? And then I went and knocked it out in a day and a half before the hurricane showed up in California. And and then we put out a short of shout out to my new buddy. I have a lot of buddies, but Johan at the Rideshare Guy. You know, he puts out the community posts and some of these shorts that we do. So we put it out, and boy, did I get slammed. I got slams from, I sold my soul to Lyft. Lyft bought me with $500, $552. But the most important thing, Chris, was how come I am not getting these, you know, bonuses? So they made the correlation because I'm so-called, I'm an influencer. I'm like, no, I'm Serge. You know, the Lyft sending me the money, showing me the money, because when Richard comes on, then I'll take it easy on him. I'm going like, what a correlation. I didn't even think of that actually.
Well, I
But
better not give the one that Lyft offered me. So
yeah, but how
I'm gonna
come they're not
pretend
showing it
that
to
I didn't
Chris?
get one.
How come
But
how come they're not giving it to Chris?
right, no, I didn't get one. But Brian put on here,
Brian, I
he
know the
did
deal,
80
buddy. I
rides
know
for
the deal. I
450
know the
bucks.
deal. I do it all the
So
time. But on this one, I couldn't get to USC. But thank you for the Fight Club words there, Brian. Now you ruined bunch of drivers' day. No, but Brian is right. You know, I could have done that instead of 10 hours. I could have done it in 38 trips. But that wasn't the idea. The idea was we put it out that I made $825 in 10 hours active and 14 hours online. They were like, this is the problem with our community, right? I love our community. I think we're building an amazing all-inclusive community. So I'm not going to call people names, right? But that video in itself was a microcosm of what the community is like. There is no unity, right? When somebody gets something good, when somebody earns some money, when somebody does something good, they all come out and say, how about me, 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 me? Why am I not getting it? Me, me, me. Well, see, this is the problem. When we're going to push legislation in the coming weeks and months in different cities and states, and these types of people who go say, oh, he's getting it because he's kissing Lyft's ass and he's doing this and why not me and I'm not seeing the money. People, this is an incentive-based system. You guys like the incentive-based system? Well, you have to suffer with it because it was not incentive-based when rideshare first showed up. It was an 80-20 split, then 75-25 split, then they lowered the miles and minutes rates, then they introduced the incentives. Well, where were you people all this time, right? But next time when I need you, the ones that pounded me, the ones that supported me, and when I say we need to do this together now, I need you to write letters to your legislatures, I need you to write letters to your politicians, phone calls, be the leaders of your community. You better not disappear like headless chickens in all directions. Okay. So my thing now is, I got it. How about this? Where is my bonus this week? Lyft? Oh, no, I didn't get anything this week because they show me the money every 4 to 5 weeks. When they show me the money, I go take their money and you guys are going to see the results, how much they lost on me. And if you guys think I can be bought or sold for $500 lousy, now put a few more zeros behind that, then we can start a conversation. Because other than that, the correlation was not there. However, this is an all-inclusive community. All opinions are welcome. Jealousy, I'm not going to call jealousy. I understand the frustration in those comments, Chris, because I get a ridiculous 38-trip, $552 bonus, and I knock it out. I make like $80, $90 an hour. And then there are a lot of drivers out there who are suffering, who are not getting the same bonuses or not even getting any, let alone the same, right? So this is an incentive-based system. Incentive-based systems are set up for the driver to fail. The reason they're set up to fail is it's a carrot and stick game. They show it to you. Most people are not supposed to reach it. Most people didn't even get those incentives. However, you have to start thinking like Uber and Lyft do. Now, if you're a full-time driver and you're driving 40, 50, 60, 70 hours a week, and your acceptance rate is 80, 90, 100%, why should Uber and Lyft send you any incentives? You're driving anyway. They know your patterns. They don't have to send you any incentives because they have you. You're going to drive, right? Now, in my case, I drive when they show me the money. I'm able to do it. Now, if you're not in that situation and you're in the 20% group that is a full-time grinder, I feel for you. I respect you. This is the only way you're going to put food on the table. I get you. But this is the system. The system does not, is not made for everybody to succeed. And the idea, Chris, behind all of this, forget the money, forget this. It wasn't like bragging about what I made. It was about the strategy, how I achieved 38 trips as quickly as possible, being 5 miles from my house. That was it. And that was with the area
I think most people don't realize that or aren't paying attention to that aspect. They're like, oh, you just got this giant bonus. Where's mine? And it's like, it's the difference between the haves and the have-nots. And it's like, yeah, you can get it once in a while. But Sergio, did you get anything this week?
Nope, nothing. No. And I guarantee you, I'm not going to get anything for the next 3-4 weeks until they miss me. That's why I always suggest you have to have a lot of tools in your toolbox. You have to have Uber Eats, DoorDash, Lyft. I just got on Curry.
I just finally completed my first Curry.
Boom, there you go. And tell them, Chris,
I'm real happy about that.
Tell them how much that trip was.
So it was. So here's the fun part. I was walking my dog and I forgot that I had it active, and it goes off, and I'm like, I look at it, I'm like, oh, $55. So it's $55 to go 12 minutes, 6 miles for two drop-offs, 2 little boxes, nothing like that. So it was $55 to go do that. It was great. I'm like,
so
yeah,
of course. Trips so now? That got my first. Chris? You're gonna go pound Chris now because he made like $6 a mile? Is that what it is? No. That's why we keep telling you.
I just signed up for Curry. And
yeah,
I mean,
you have to
look, here's the thing though. Curry, I'm glad now that I'm on, but I was on the waiting list from March of last year. And then, Steve was able to help me get on from the waiting list to like active, but there was like no orders that were coming through until, just today. So it's like, that's how long it was. But now there's allegedly though, that it's going to open up more. So I'll be, I'll let you guys know next week how that
Yeah.
goes when it comes,
But
because
let's
you're supposed to
let's not
take your
shift
first
here.
order too, and
know,
then it starts going. But yeah,
I
you
got
gotta
3
have
offers.
multiple platforms going. You can't
Yep.
have just sticking to one or two platforms and calling it a
Not gonna
day.
work.
No, you gotta shuffle between all these, because that keeps them on their toes. And yeah, it's the whole incentive based thing. Is it fair? No, but if you can use it to your advantage and you're able to, like if you're driving full time, start doing, food delivery this week, then next week do rideshare, or mix it in between, do last mile delivery, and you can keep cycling through, and then you can kind of come up with your own plan, your own ideas. And then when these companies are looking for more drivers for a particular time frame, that's when they're going to start giving you these extra bonuses. But then you have to use the strategies in order to achieve those bonuses quicker and make sure you get them. So it's not, if you get that weekend quest that comes in, and what was it, 38 trips again?
Yep.
Yeah, so 38 trips. If you decide, oh, I'm going to take, 10 on Friday, and, maybe I'll skip Saturday because I want to go out. And then you're trying to hustle at the end on Sunday, and they're like, oh, they're throttling me to get me. No, you're competing against every other driver in your area that has the exact same type of thing that they're trying to get. So
There were
Lyft is like horrible when it comes to anything, when it comes to them producing the bonuses that are actually consistent and
Yeah.
reliable. You
Well,
might
but
get it 1 week, and then again, like you said, 3-4 weeks later, you're not going to get it. Uber,
yep.
on the other hand, is so much more consistent and reliable. But I've
But
always
then,
said,
but Chris, last week we showed the new Quest, $5
yeah,
for
those are,
so which one is better? Do the Quest for $5 extra? Bullshit, which is meaningless, right? But the whole point wasn't about me making $825 in the week before $500-600, right? It was two strategies involved. Two. One advice was, if you do get a bonus or a quest like mine, which is rare, but I got it, you have to know what you're doing with it. Now, I could have chosen to do 38 trips, open myself up to all kinds of trips, go all the way from LA to San Diego and back, because Lyft algo is going to send it to you. No, what did I do? I set my area filter the first day to 8 miles. I wanted to stay 8 miles within my house. Well, sure enough, there is plenty of short trips within that 8-mile radius. The next day and the first day, the second lesson is I hit it super hard. I did 27 trips in one day. So the lessons were, if you do get a quest like this or a ride challenge, you have to hit it hard the first day to get 80% of it out of the way, so then you can dick around the next 2 days, right? Because you know what's going to happen? You know how many times I hear, Chris, oh, it's Sunday, they're throttling me. Well, they're not throttling you. There's a whole bunch of tens of thousands of other drivers out there trying to finish the quest that they got, and that's the carrot and the stick game, right?
Yep.
And not everybody is supposed to get that, okay? And then there's so many more drivers than the demand exists that they're not getting pings, and they're thinking they're getting throttled. Well, throttling may happen, I get it, but the idea behind these videos was not because, look at me, I made $825. I made a lot more than that on a weekend before. The point was two, right here, $826.25, 38 trips, 10-hour book time, 13 or 14 hours active time. Great numbers. But the strategy behind was, the first day I did 27, knocked 80% of it out, and setting my area filter to 8 miles. The second day, when I was dicking around, I set my area filter to 5 miles. Why? Because I just want to do short trips. Now, I could have done this 38 trips, open myself up to go to LAX from my house, which is 30 miles, go all over the place. No, I didn't do that. What I wanted to do is maximize my profit. How do I maximize my profit? And you guys will see on the next two screenshots, I only drove 145 miles for 38 trips. That's 5 gallons of gas at 30 miles a gallon in my car. I spent $30 on gas. That was it. That's what I wanted to do, and I achieved the goal, and that was the message. And then people come, oh, I don't get it. How come you get it? You're getting it because you're kissing Lyft's ass, blah, blah, blah. If you guys have not watched me before, and if you guys accuse me of kissing anybody's ass, you guys really, really, really need some medication. Okay.
And
But
not only that, $500 is
yeah,
not going to be enough to get you to shut up.
no. Put like 3 more zeros behind that. Maybe we can talk about it. Now, here's the other deal. This is an all-inclusive community. I get it. I get the frustration. I get the disgust. I get what people are going through, specifically full-time drivers. I get it. I'm sorry. But me getting a $552 odd number 38 trip ride challenge has nothing to do with me being soft on any of these companies. So with that being said, let's end this. I cannot be bought. My goal this year, and I said this before, and to everybody who's new here and watching later, my goal is to have proper legislation and regulation support with everything I have. But when I do that, all the people who complain, saying that, oh, you get it, I didn't get it, blah, 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 blah. Okay, you guys better show up. Because when I say we're going to do a protest in front of the city council in LA, you better show up in big numbers, all the complainers. Because if you don't show up, then you have nothing to complain about. Nothing. You have no voice. So if you accept me as your voice, and I'm trying to be your voice, I don't really care about trolling. I'm used to this internet thing. I'm covered in Teflon. I really don't care. But what happens is that I want an all-inclusive community. I want the complainers. I want the happies. I want the sads. I want the upsets. I want all of it, because together we can have a much louder voice, and we're building that now.
Well, I think it goes back to the whole statement of united we stand, divided we fall.
No shit.
And that's exactly what it is. You have such a fractured and divided community where people are complaining, oh, I didn't get it. And oh, you're just kissing Lyft's ass because they gave you it or whatever, or you're an influence or whatever it might be. But it's like, no, turn that anger and resentment away from Sergio and put it towards the companies, for they're the ones who are doing it. So that's where everybody can become on a united front. So again, united we stand, divided we fall.
Yeah.
So
and I'm going to finish this. You know what?
It's us against them, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's the only way these companies have won when they first started, Chris, right? Kalanick won that way. It's us against them with his crew. They went and smashed every single, local, city, state, federal law, and look where they are. You need, I'm accepting to be the leader of this community, okay, whatever the community is. And I have the connections. I can get our voices out. However, and again, I really appreciate all the negative comments as well as the positive comments, because it shows the level of pain in the community. And if the pain and the suffering and the frustration is so high that in an incentive-based pay system, you're not getting the quest, which I didn't get this week, I apologize. It's not my fault. It's some algorithm at Lyft, headquarters that says, oh, this week, let's show Sergio money. Next week, let's show Chris the money. Next week, let's show Steve the money. This is the way it works. Now, I'm going to finish this segment because it's gone too long anyway. Here, with my buddy Jeff's two, circles in life: circle of influence, circle of control. I have influence. I can use my influence. But unlike most of you think, I have no control. Now, how do I not have control? I cannot get you reactivated. I can suggest you to take him to small claims court. I can suggest you to take him to arbitration. If it's background check, I can forward you to our legal group. That's the amount of control I have. I cannot call Uber or Lyft and say, hey, man, why aren't you sending 38 trip, $552, quests or ride challenges to everybody? Well, they're not going to do that. They're trying to balance the way they create supply and demand. So with that said, circle of influence, circle of control. I will use my influence to do anything in my power to push for proper legislation and regulation on these TNCs and DNCs. Circle of control comes when I call you. That's my circle of control. When I call you, okay, we need to do this. We need to write letters. We need to call our senators, city council people. You better do it, because that's the control I have. Now, with that said, I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not sold. And to be honest with you, I would never think of quitting this until I have my goals set up. I'm a very goal-oriented person. I set my short, medium, long-term goals. I've achieved a whole bunch of short-term goals. Getting hundreds of millions of dollars to California drivers, actually fixing people getting logged out completely. That was our fix. bunch of stuff that we do in the background that you guys are not even aware of, right? Because I get all the emails saying, I got this, I got that. I'm like, yeah, we're working on it. We're trying to fix shit. Medium-term goals are going to get there by proper legislation and regulation. And this is not California based just because I'm in California. I have a voice, I have eyes and ears all over the country now. So when we have a huge crowd in Chicago, we're going to talk about this coming up. And you people better show up. When I send you blast email saying that today is the day of the vote, I want a week before everybody to call their city council people. You better do it. I'm going to do it, but I'm from California. They can say, well, screw you, you're from California. But no, people in Illinois, people in Chicago, you better get on your phones, get on your emails, and do what I'm asking you to do. That's how we can change the game. And the long-term plans are, you know what? Get off this upfront bullshit. Get off this incentive-based system. Just like be a cab company with an app. Pay everybody like Seattle, Washington. Pay everybody a decent mile and minute rates. No quests. None of this bullshit, heebie-jeebie, colors, bells, whistles, gamification, and let's just get it on. That's it. Let's everybody make some money. Let's create a win-win-win situation. So there's the plans. I think I said that. Okay, this guy who's getting sprayed with some Kuna, Malaya, whatever, I think you need to get rid of this guy. So yeah, that's it. I'm not for sale. I will never be sold. But then some people may think so. But again, welcome to the community.
All right. Well, I'm glad you said your piece. And again, hopefully that will, invigorate people again to look at a more united front, because that's exactly what it is. It's got to be more united than not. And, you should be happy that other people are getting it. So hopefully your turn will come soon. And then the same thing, it's the other way. If you're getting it, hopefully they'll be happy for you and vice versa. And then, just trying to make it better. And, I've said for a long time, also, get rid of all that stupid crap. Just pay the right wages, make everybody happy, get it all at the equal level, and we're good there. And yeah, that's exactly what's going to have to happen. So if we're able to do that, that's what we're looking at. That's where we're going. That's a lot of the emails and things and back and forth that we've gone. We were talking to Joe, who's in Minneapolis before, trying to talk to, the city of Minneapolis as well, because their vote is still a week and a half away. To overturn the veto of the mayor. So there's still a very real possibility that they could potentially get their rates at $1.40 a mile and 51 cents a minute. So it's going to be something that I think all drivers would be very happy to have. Wouldn't you like to have $1.40 and 51 cents a minute? If you say no, then I ask you what would make you happy. But I think the majority of people would be able to.
Yeah, I agree. So, what else we got?
All
okay.
right. So
I have that one last announcement. I have a tentative date for David Risher's guest appearance. I'm not going to announce it until it's 100% confirmed. I have a tentative date. It's going to be in September. There is your clue, people. So we will obviously put that out there a couple of weeks before because we want everybody to watch that interview. So that's where that's going. That's a quick update on that. So that's it.
Yeah. And I think talking about being bought, I think we're going to have to give away some of your money again. Yeah. So if you want to win $25, we're going to do it right now. #money, put it in the chat. We'll do our next segment and then we will give away $25 more from Sergio's big bonuses. So
hold on, I forgot my light, Chris. Let me put my light on, and you guys can see my face now. Okay, here we go.
All right. So the next one we're talking about is the new car requirements for Uber Comfort. What's going on there? Because there were a lot of people who got emails saying, "Oh, your car is no longer going to qualify for Uber Comfort. You can get Uber X rides." I know this is hard to hear and blah 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 blah. And you lost me when you said you're taking away this amount of extra little comfort money that you're getting. So let's talk about that.
Okay, so we're gonna the links are on this, but if you can put the links in the show notes, Chris, that would be awesome. I sent them to you, but we will make sure that the link in the show notes. So I got this email. Well, I got this comment actually in one of the videos, but the same gentleman emailed me as well. And I got a whole bunch of emails, by the way, that Uber is upgrading the Comfort and Comfort Electric, Uber Green lineup of their cars. And here's the comment. If anyone is looking for car vehicle requirements on Uber, you can do a Google search for Uber vehicle requirements and your city. And I did that. And then the link is going to be in the show notes, or we can put it on the chat. So
yeah,
his story is
in the show notes, in the description.
It's in the description. Okay, so the link is in the description, people. When the show is done, please go check it to see if you're about to get deleted from the. This is not for X. This is for Upper Comfort, Uber, Uber Electric. I mean, Comfort Electric and Uber Green. So this should land you on a generic page of ride types with links buried in the page. Yes, that's true. I did that. I'm one of the people that have seen my ability to accept Uber Comfort trips taken because my car fell off the list. Now, here is another hit on Uber. We're independent contractors, right? I mean, I get it. I mean, I cannot take a 20-year-old car. I get that part. But look at what this guy's saying. I drive a 2018 Honda CRV. That's 5 years old, bro. I frequently get compliments on, on the cleanliness of my car and how comfortable it is. Last year, my car qualified for Uber Comfort, which meant more requests coming my way. Here we go. Going back to the last segment. Where is your control? There's no circle of control. This guy was doing Comfort, maybe getting 10% extra pay on Comfort. Boom, taken away. By who? Uber. Why? Because they're in control. You're not in control. This year, it dropped off the list. The only difference between my car and a 2019 model is the default rim option. Figure that shit out. Nothing else has changed. I'm sorry, but I drive in Massachusetts, mostly Cape Cod area, and our state requires a TNC inspection that ensures our interiors and exteriors are up to certain standards. There you go. There's the Massachusetts law. I had my CRV fail one time because I had some excess dirt up the, oh my God, above the seal of my rear hatch, meaning it is only seen when the rear hatch is lifted. Sorry, but if I can pass a Massachusetts TNC inspection, that is that anal about the cleanliness and condition of the car, God, they should come to Burbank and check the inspection area. Uber inspection area, bro. I see some cars that I go like, how the hell is this car going to even get on the platform? And there you go again. See, this is the stereotype, or this is the, you have two types of, in Massachusetts, you can't even get a 2018 pristine car on the system, and in LA you can get a 2012 beater on the system. They do it because of demand. They know what they need, and that's what they do, and they run your life. The retarded part, if you look at all this, is that for comfort, if any car is classed as a luxury car, it goes back to 2015 and being eligible for comfort. So in the upper, like Uber Lux or Uber Black or Uber XL, some of the other ones, you can do, I guess, comfort, but they took away this guy's comfort mode, at least for the Boston market. This is the real bullshit right there. How's a 2015 model year car considered newer while a 2018 model year car is not? So I got a lot of emails about this subject. So what I want you to do, it's in the links are in the show notes. There are going to be two links. One is going to take you to the page automatically where you can literally put your city in, and then it's going to, and then you click on what car it is, right? Or you do a search with your car and model year. You will be able to see if your car qualifies for comfort, Uber Green, all these other levels. Okay, so please go check this in the show notes. I appreciate all the emails that people sent. Again, lack of control. You have no control. Uber says you cannot earn an extra 10% to this guy. There you go. What is this guy supposed to do? Well, this is the system that we're in. So
yeah. And then it just goes on. We got the next screenshot right here. Yeah. We're just talking about keeping informed the upcoming vehicle product eligibility updates for the premium mid-tier products, and talking about what that is. So yeah, the other side of the coin too is you also have to have a 4.85 rating, and you have to have at least 100 trips for Uber Comfort. Because the other side of the coin is a lot of people are saying, oh, my car does qualify for comfort, but I don't see it in my app. And so those are a couple extra requirements as well too. Not necessarily the car. The car might be, but you also have to have that 4.85 and the 100 rides given. So
Yeah.
as long as you got that, then you should see comfort. If you don't and your car does qualify, then get hold of Uber support and hopefully they can help you.
Yep. Yeah. And this was from his app. This is the message that he got. So you're gonna, if your car doesn't qualify for a certain level that you were before, you're gonna unfortunately get an in-app message. But please double check it with those 2 links that are in the show notes, because Uber doesn't know their ass from their elbow. So I would definitely check it before calling support and wasting a half hour of your life. So there you go.
Oh yeah. And I think now what we got to do is give away some of Sergio's money.
Yeah, that 825 is disappearing already. So I'm not sure what's going on here, but you know what? I hope one of the trolls wins it today.
Yeah, so they can.
Maybe I can buy them.
All right, who is going to be our winner today? William Damaschio.
William
Congratulations.
Damasio. Okay, William, no email, no money. You have to email me, Sergio@therideshareguy.com. $25 coming your way. And thank you for watching. See, free money. We give free money here. We entertain, we inform, educate, and then we give money. I mean, where are you guys going to get this? In what planet? Come on now.
I don't know, but congratulations, William. We may be giving away some more, so hold tight, hold tight. But with that being said, now school's back in session, colleges are back in, which is I'm happy about because that's a lot of Buffalo's business. Just because you have a lot of school age kids going to and from campus. So you got North and South Campus for UB, you got Buff State, you got a lot of other places. So they're back in session. I know you got school, like little kids are back in school. Teachers are back. Teachers are going back. We don't have school until next week starting our area, but teachers are back at school preparing and everything. So the question is, with all of this now happening, fall coming, things are starting to dwindle down when it comes to events and everything going on in your area. Is it starting to get a little bit busier out there? What's going on? What are you seeing?
But again, this is LA. Okay, LA is the top market. Okay, these screenshots are for Lyft in 2 separate areas. Where the 0 is up top is above me, as you guys can see my cursor. Morning rush hour. Okay, so again, here's more hints. Here's more advice. When I first started driving in 2015, the whole screen all day was like this, plus, actually double, right? But we had prime time and all that good stuff anyway. So this, Chris, has changed 180 degrees. As soon as the schools opened, this is what I'm seeing now. Now, when I first started to drive, there were probably 60 to 80 hours a week that this was the map. I could literally, like shooting fish in a barrel. I get up and drive, and boom, I made my money in 4 hours. I go home. Now, the hours that is like this is dwindled. I would pretty much say down to maybe at best 20 hours a week. So if you want to make top dollar, you must work those 20 hours. You have to work when and where there is demand. This was the picture for 2 hours, Chris, between 7:15 to 9:30 in LA. Okay, this is on Lyft, and the next screenshots is going to be on Uber. And here's Uber. Okay, again, this map has flipped. You remember our beautiful gray,
the gray clouds of doom?
Uber.
Yes.
Dara, okay, no Dara. Okay, we're not friends yet, but we're going to.
I still see a little bit of gray clouds of doom.
Yeah,
there.
Yeah. Well, but what I'm saying is that gray is being replaced with this now. Now, this is a pretty decent surge. Okay, I mean, it's not like before, but 4s and 5s and 11, some places 10s. Some places 12. Santa Monica. If you know where to be, you can play this game. So this map has flipped from all gray clouds now for a couple hours in the mornings, couple hours in the afternoons, and in the weekends, it's like this. So that means 2 things. All the part-timers, all the weekend warriors, all the college kids, all the teachers, back to school, right? That drove like only in the summer to make some extra cash. So now supply and demand is getting more in the favor of the driver, right? You got to watch these things. I mean, we're trying to teach you this shit. You got to
Yeah,
watch trends.
you gotta
take
know
screenshots.
not only your weekly trend or your daily trends, your weekly trends, but seasonal trends. And this is
Absolutely.
where we're starting to see
Absolutely.
the seasonal shift. So the other
Absolutely.
question is, for all the people in the chat, we got 200 people watching currently right now. What are you seeing? Are you starting to see it start pick up? Are you seeing some better bonuses come your way? Are you seeing,
Yeah.
more surge, more, different things? What's going on? Less
Yeah.
time in between rides, better utilization rate. What's going on? Put in the
Yeah.
comments exactly what's going on in your market, and also what market are you in?
Yeah.
We'd love to know.
And again, we're is the link out there so we can put people on? We can talk subject by subject. But we
Not
want
yet.
some.
No, that's
Okay,
gonna be
not
at
yet.
the end of the
Okay,
show.
so and the end of the show. Okay, so we want some of you to come on and talk about all the segments that we're doing today. So one of the segments is are things changing? Well, in LA again. The other thing I get is I get emails. Oh, but you're in LA. You're in top market. What do you want me to do? Move somewhere that is not busy? I don't know. I'm just showing what's in my market. Now, I'm sure get a shit ton of screenshots this week showing me, this is the other thing. We pay attention to all markets, small market, large market, busy market, slow market, whatever it is. For me, things have changed. What has changed is the color of the maps. Now, I have to work those hours to maximize my earnings. Now, whoever says about this flexibility, the freedom is bullshit. If I don't work, because if I showed you a screenshot from 10 o'clock, gray maps are back. But you have a window between 7 and 9:30, okay, that during the weekdays, and in the afternoons, it's there. Surge is there. Now, has Surge lost its meaning completely with upfront fares? To a degree, yeah, because the wonderful algorithm is shaving, slicing, dicing the base fare any way they want because it's all inclusive now. It used to be in addition to. That's the other thing we're working on to fix because upfront fares got to go. It's got to go. I mean, there's no ifs and buts about this shit. But this segment is about things are changing. If things are changing, you got to hit it. You got to hit it when it's hot. Don't tell me I can't get up that early. Well, then don't complain when you don't make money. You got to drive when and where there is demand, and the demand is showing up in morning rush hour, afternoon rush hour, weekends. Is pretty much this. The maps are like this. Hey, there you go. Take screenshots. Here's more advice. Take screenshots. Don't erase it. Literally print it. Put it on your wall. This surge thing, by the way, this is not a mythical creature. It comes, it goes. It's like a tornado.
It's just when you're trying to chase it, it's
together.
mythical.
Memorize. Take a screenshot in your head saying, okay, between 7 and 9, it's surging in this pocket. That means there's not enough drivers there. And guess what? It's going to do it again the next day and again the next day. So, so you position yourself. You play the 3P games. Patience, position, and planning. Well, plan to be there before the surge shows up in that little pocket. You have to play this game. You don't play this game, don't complain you're not making money. Nobody's going to feed you. It's not going to happen, right? So unless you get a shitty, crazy challenge like that. But what I'm trying to say is the game needs to be played. This is a game. We're playing a game. It's a simulation. You can, we do our surveys, at RSG. Chris, what is the top 1 or top 5% driver versus bottom 5% driver? What's the earnings difference, Chris? You know the number. It's 3x.
It's a 3x. Lot, yeah.
So I'm doing something right. You're not doing something right. Well, I'm earning 3 times as much as you are because I'm getting my ass out of bed. I'm taking advantage of when and where there is demand, and then I'm shutting it down. Then doing, DoorDash or Uber Eats or Grubhub or some deliveries with Curry now. Afternoon rush hour, I'm hitting rideshare again. Weekends, I'm hitting rideshare again. There are pockets that you can make better money than you are now. So there you go. And this show is all about show me the money, and the change is here. So hit it.
Yep. Now, moving on a little bit, Tony in the chat was talking about how Lyft isn't paying him for a ride because a passenger canceled in the app or claimed that they did, and yet it didn't show on his app. So there's 2 things that I would have to say for that. First, yeah, you can take screenshots of everything, and that you might need a screen recording on. But the other side of the coin is that's when you need a dash camera. So dash cameras are always good just to have everything on hand. We always recommend display ride dash camera because it goes right up to the cloud. You got 20% off with code RSG20. Link is going to be in the description below. And it goes up right into the cloud. You don't have to worry about it. So if something happens, whether it's safety related, whether it's accident, whatever it might be, you want to have a dash cam that's on and recording and uploading to the cloud all at once. So if there's any issues or anything going on, make sure you have that dash camera.
Yep, dash cam is a must. I love my display ride. We're gonna have other news on display ride coming up, by the way, for other types of gig work shortly, hopefully. I think it's gonna be revolutionary, Chris. I think it's just
Mhm.
I think it's gonna be amazing. Absolutely.
I think you guys are gonna really appreciate and really like that.
Yeah,
So
100%.
once we get the go ahead to let you know what's coming and all that, we are definitely gonna let you know, and I think you're gonna be pretty happy.
Yep. 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 I
All
agree
right.
with Daniel Rivas. So all right. So next one, we're gonna talk
So
about
now we're
is
talking about, earlier we had hinted about Minneapolis and what's going on there, talking about legislation, trying to, reel in the wild west of the gig economy. Pretty much it's in their favor. Whatever they want to do, they can kind of get away with within, you know, relatively good terms for themselves, not necessarily for us as drivers. But the big thing is certain areas have made some differences, like Seattle, Tacoma, Washington State. We are loving what's going on there because it has probably the best rate. I mean, it has the best rates in the country, but it
by
has
far.
all of the other benefits included in it as well. It's still an independent contractor model. Everything is, great when it comes to that. It's gravy. We like it. If you don't know what the Seattle and Washington model is, make sure you go back, check out some of the videos that we've talked about exactly what that is. But, the other side of the coin is that now Minnesota is trying to do that. Minneapolis, the whole thing there. But now Chicago is also introducing their own ordinance, and it's going to be pretty interesting what's going to happen. So, Sergio.
Yeah. This is the next little fire. Look, Uber and Lyft play cat and mouse with local and state legislatures all the time. What do they say, Chris? We're gonna what? What are we gonna do
For what?
when there's legislation? What does the first thing Uber and Lyft say?
Oh, we're going to leave. We are not going to service the area anymore.
Okay,
Okay.
so here's the deal, people. Whoever's in Chicago, spread the word. We're coming. I'm gonna have Lori from Chicago Jobs and Justice Group on. She's supporting this ordinance, and then we're gonna show what the ordinance is. This is pretty much a carbon copy of what failed in Minneapolis City Council, because Mayor Frey, to his wisdom, vetoed it, just like the Minneapolis Governor Walz vetoed the similar bill a couple of months ago, right? So somehow, they play cat and mouse. We're gonna leave. Everybody's gonna lose their flexibility. Okay. Until today, they could do that. They could say that. And what happens? The legislature or the council, city council, or the state senators or House members, they buckle. They go, oh my God, what are we gonna do without Uber and Lyft? I'm like, okay, I got you. Well, now we're in Chicago. Now we have a lot of people in Chicago. So I'm going to need your help, people in Chicago. Listen up and spread this word, please, please. This coming week, there's another rideshare company called Rides, WRIDZ. I'm sure some of you have heard in some cities, some states. Guess where they're, Chris? They're in Chicago already, Chris. Chicago, city of Chicago, right?
Ooh.
So next week, we're going to have the CEO of Rides, Steve Wright, on our channel. And he's going to explain how they'll be able to take over Chicago if Uber and Lyft say, bye. I'm like, okay. Well, see, in Minneapolis, they didn't have somebody to replace them right away, right? So all the, now we have somebody immediately to replace Uber and Lyft if they leave. It's functioning. They're doing trips already in the city of Chicago. So next week, we're going to have him on, explain how they're ready to take over if they leave, if they play the cat and mouse game. Week after that, we're going to have Lori on from this outfit, Chicago Jobs and Justice Group, who is proposing this ordinance, which is pretty much the same with a little lesser rates, Chris. It's about $1.20 a mile, and then we'll see what they are on the next screenshot. Well, this is pretty much the same thing. Total transparency, protection against unjust deactivation, higher miles and minute rates, all the usual stuff that everybody, all these
minimum
people are
trip
trying to pass.
fare. I like this one thing. It's automatically pay a clear and transparent 150% surge on all regular rides leaving the city. If the ride already carried a higher surge than 150%, the higher rate will prevail.
Yeah,
I like that.
They have a lot of good things in here. So, first of all, cap the cut that rideshare companies can take from each fare to 20%. Don't we want that? Don't we want to go back to 80-20 people? Yeah, we do, right? All right. Require the TNP count. TNP is Transport Network Provider instead of TNC, which is Transport Network Company. Companies notify drivers 7 days in advance of any suspension, and then they have the right to appeal. Currently, drivers can indefinitely be suspended or deactivated immediately after a trip, which I got like tons of emails again this week. Oh, I got deactivated. I don't know what I did wrong. First question, do you have a dash cam? No. Well, now we're screwed. Now we don't know what to do. Go get a display, right? Okay, anyway. Require passengers verification. That's what we want. Have everybody upload a freaking ID. How about that, right? A public assistance fund from which money can be allocated to provide service to drivers' vehicles at approved city locations for assistance in purchasing dividers or dash cams. There you go. An appeals process with the Department of Administrative Hearings to respond to suspensions or deactivations. Absolutely. So I'm supporting this bill 100% behind it. So if you're in Chicago, if you don't support this bill and Uber sends you an in-app message or Lyft saying that, oh, we're going to lose your flexibility, or we're going to leave, well, I want you to bombard the city councilman and alderman in called Chicago, and alderwoman, which we're going to try to have next week. Not next week. Next week is Steve Wright, who is the CEO of Rides. Week after, Lori, who is the sponsor of this bill, and some aldermen and alderwomen who are supporting this ordinance are going to come on, show me the money. And the vote is on the 17th. Today is what? The 29th. We got 19 days to push this as hard as we can. Whoever's in Chicago, please support us getting this through. Because if we don't get this, because pretty soon, I'm pretty sure all of you in Chicago are going to get in your apps. Oh, you're about to lose your flexibility. Oh, you're about to lose your freedom. Well, we have an answer for that this time. This time it's called Rideshare. They're already operating in Chicago. Bye. Have a nice day. Okay. Now, please
don't fall for it.
Spread the word, and this is what we're gonna do. I'm in 100% support of this ordinance. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting over the next couple of weeks, and that's why I said earlier too. You want to make sure that you're going to be on here Tuesdays, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific, because of the next few ones that we have. Hey, Danny, if you need that bill, grassroots movement, check out the video that we put out called The Playbook regarding Seattle and Washington, what they did. It's basically spat out, in 5 steps, how they were able to get what they were able to do. So if you want to, spearhead that, that's definitely, the beginning of it.
Okay, so whoever's in Chicago and is watching this later, please, connect with your aldermen and alderwomen who are in support or even against this bill. I would like to have them on Show Me the Money with Lori in 2 weeks. Okay, warning, advance. Advance notice. We have 2 weeks. Get these people on. Hear their voices. I am 100% support of this bill. It covers pretty much everything that drivers want nationwide. Okay. That it includes, higher mile and minute rates, none of this upfront bullshit, mumbo jumbo, hocus pocus, shaving, slicing, dicing shit. So there you go. We have 2 weeks, people. Let's get to work.
Well, make sure we know Lenny Sanchez too. So apparently he's a big
whoever you know, bring it down. Okay, there you go. Steve, Rideshare Rodeo. Sergio, you can put me in touch. Bring him on, Steve. You're my agent, buddy. There we go.
Awesome. Well, anything more with Chicago, the ordinance, anything like that?
Nope.
All right.
Well, the next topic on Chicago, next 2 weeks.
What's up?
Next 2 weeks, we have a lot coming. So.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. And then also what's going on in Minnesota, we're going to be talking about on the 7th. Clearly, that's going to be in 2 weeks because the 7th is in 10 days or something like that. So we'll be talking about that on the following show after that. So exactly what happened, how the veto had impacted the vote. Did it impact the vote? Were they able to get 9 votes in order to overturn? So we'll go from there. But the next thing we're going to be talking about now is some people in California have woke up to see that Uber is now changing the age limit from what it used to be to 25 for new drivers. So the question is, why are they doing it? What's going on? And oof, California. Now it's 25 as a requirement to drive in California. But
What do
just
you
to let
say?
you know
What do you say to this
beforehand,
comment, Chris?
what
What do you say to this comment?
we are having him on.
Yeah, I guess you
All
will
right,
have to take that day off because
we
we're
want
gonna
to we
ban
want to
you
build
anyway.
bridges. We want to build bridges with everybody,
Yeah.
and
So Colleen, if you come on and start spewing some bullshit that day, I'm gonna ban you. So I haven't banned you until today, but you know I will do it. So don't make me do it.
you mean warning.
Anyway, so okay. So I'm in California. First of all, Lyft had this anyway, all this time. Okay. Now, uh, uh, okay, we can't say that. We have shown last 2 weeks what has happened in commercial auto insurance rates in California. Uber is complaining that there are actually cottage industries now with billboards built that lawyers, ambulance chasers are going after Uber and Lyft. Obviously, when accidents happen, right? So they're complaining due to that fact. Their commercial insurance rates have gone triple since 2019. And if you look at your receipts and you're in California, hey, I'm looking at my receipts. They've just doubled, tripled. Okay. I had one the other day, Chris. I forgot to send it to you. It was like a 8-mile trip. The commercial insurance for like 8-mile, 14-minute trip. It was like $16, $2 a mile commercial insurance. I'm like, what the
Damn.
right? Yeah. So Uber decided that well, we're going to move the age to onboard. Now, this is not for the people who are already on the system before this announcement, which was a few days ago. If you're under the age of 25 and you're on the system, you're grandfathered in. But as of a couple of days or 3 days, whatever it is ago, if you try to sign up and if you're under the age of 25, this is only for rideshare people, not for Uber Eats, not for deliveries. For Uber Eats and deliveries, you could be 19 or 20. What is it? Yeah, 19. Okay. So those who were activated and under 25 prior to Wednesday, which was this past Wednesday, can continue to drive for Uber, but I am pretty sure they will phase you out one way or the other because you guys are more prone to be more aggressive when you're driving. And so now I see this 2 different ways, okay? And they're both positive for drivers, Chris. When was the last time I said that? One, well, first of all, I do understand where Uber is coming from. The commercial insurance rates are out of control, right? The underwriters are not writing insurance, for drivers. One of the positives that I see, less new fresh meat. Okay. Now, if you're not under the age of, if you're over the age of 25, you sign up and you drive. You're under the age of 25, which a lot of college kids are, which they always do. They drive to make some extra bucks. You're not getting on the system now. So this is going to help with the oversaturation problem. No more 25 or under. Great. Okay, that's one positive for drivers. Now, I'm not making a direct correlation yet, but I'm going to study this. In California, if our maps start changing, if Lyft keeps stealing drivers from Uber, and Uber cannot sign up drivers that are under 25, we may have a little bit shortage coming up, Uber. See, this is Uber, exactly why you shouldn't be playing this incentive bullshit gamification thing. This is exactly why you shouldn't be playing this burn and churn game, because now it's coming to bite you in the ass. You know what I'm saying? Higher commercial insurance rates. You're moving the age to 25. Why? Well, you know, I this burn and churn also, what you've been doing for the last 12 years. See, it's coming to bite you in the ass. I'm thinking now, I'm thinking now, this will help with oversaturation in California, not in other states. But as California goes, other states will go. I see receipts, by the way, from Chicago, Boston. Commercial insurance rates in those states are nowhere near what they are in California, right? And Uber says, as a result, these lopsided requirements, personal injury attorneys have created cottage industry. Oh, they must have heard what I said. Alex, how are you? Hope you're feeling better. Rideshare platforms like ours pushing Uber's California state mandated commercial insurance costs rise by more than 65% just 2 years. I agree. And so now this may help, with the oversaturation problem. We may see a little bit more surge. We may see a little bit more blood. So there you go.
Well, I think it's just another failed policy coming from the state of California.
Right.
They
That
just
I
like
have
to
no
jack,
comment on.
they just
I
like
have
to
no
jack
comment on that
everything
one.
up. So,
I have no comment.
I mean, Uber is just another victim when it comes to the commercial insurance issues that are going on there. Which that understands where part of it comes from, but the other part is, you gotta work with what you got. So, you got to make some decisions, and it looks like they just made one decision that said up to 25 now you cannot drive unless you're 25 and older. So if you were thinking about driving and a little bit younger, sorry, not going to be able to do that.
No, I that's been going on, Monuri. They have decreased it from 327 to God knows 280s, 290s now. They're going Lyft way 262. We're gonna ask that to Richard too. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah, how can you expect to make anything with minimum fare trips like that?
Yeah,
That's why Chicago's looking at $5, $7 minimum fares. So hopefully they'll be getting that.
Thank
Oh,
you,
Ben, thank you.
Ben. AI Ben. Surge is not organic anymore. Saturated not. Drivers are being played. Yes, I agree. They're just trying to get. Actually, I sent a recording to screen recording to Chris yesterday. You got that right? The one with the two cars coming at me.
Yeah.
How they come into the surge. Yeah, Surge is AI Ben. I agree. Surge has lost its meaning under upfront fares. Surge was my sugar as the president of the CPU, Cherry Pickers United. I knew when and where it was going to surge, position myself before, and bang, I would hit that thing. So the trip would be 10, surge would be 15, $25 for a 5-mile trip. Boom, I'm good. Now, the same 5-mile trip, you have $15 surge, trip is priced at 17, Chris. That $2. Mm-hmm. That algo, this little game we're playing, I kind of agree with AI Ben. The surge kind of has lost its meaning, but still, it's not extra. It's just in addition to now. So,
well, Serge, I got to ask you: Are you managing your money correctly?
Yes, I am.
Okay. How about other drivers? Do you think they're handling their money correctly?
No, 5% maybe. 5% maybe. Yeah. Maybe 5%. Okay, I'm not affiliated with Schwab. I have no sponsorship with Schwab. I like Charles Schwab. I have an account with Charles Schwab, but other than that, I have nothing. So get that disclaimer out of the way. This is literally from their website, okay? And it was like, I gotta put this up. Okay. Now, gig workers, are you managing your money? As an independent contractor, you're not only your own boss, you're your own CFO. Hallelujah. How many of you are doing it? Now, and this was a letter written by a driver, like a Dear Abby kind of a letter, asking advice to a financial advisor at Charles Schwab. It says, Dear Carrie, I'm in my late 30s. For the last several years, I worked full-time as an employee of a company. Great. But last year, decided to go solo, mostly doing freelance work, but also filling in as a rideshare driver. I love the independence and flexibility. Great. But I'm worried about staying afloat financially, which everybody complains these days. What steps should I take? And the Charles Schwab said, the timing for your question couldn't be better. I agree. Welcome to Show Me the Money. A record number of people are rethinking their careers, and the growing gig economy is a reflection of that. Now, how many of you, let's do a little quick poll here. 1 is yes, 2 is no. How many of you have some sort of a rainy day fund as a brokerage account, like Charles Schwab, Webull, Coinbase, whatever it is? Put either 1 for yes, no for 2. Let's see it. How many of you have a rainy day fund that tomorrow when your transmission blows, you have the money to fix it to get back on the road. Jason has one. Wow, look at this. There we go. How many of you?
Awesome.
Now keep doing it. So we're going to continue with the segment. As an employee, you often have the security of employer-sponsored benefits like health insurance and retirement plans. Absolutely. But as an independent contractor, when you're your own boss, you have to take care of all those things yourself. I don't want to hear one more time ever from anybody's mouth saying, oh, I'm not making enough money to save money. That means your budget is messed up. If you're a full-time driver and you're pulling in 1,000, do not tell me you cannot put $50 of that into an account at Schwab, Webull, Coinbase, any brokerage house, the TD Ameritrade, whatever you are, and start investing, or even just collecting money. Money market rates are higher today. We know what has happened with interest rates. You can get, it used to be 0.00 something now, or you can put it into CDs. You can invest in many different ways at these brokerage houses, right? Earn some interest while you're collecting that money there. This is a must, people. We have to do this. Nobody else is going to do this for you. You don't have Uber is not going to do it. Lyft is not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. This is not financial advice, but I would do it if I was making. Stop eating out. Make your own sandwich. Stop eating garbage at Jack in the Box or other places for $12, $15. Save that money. Don't buy that Starbucks cup of latte for $8. Save the money. Put it in a fund, rainy day fund. And hey, man, a year later, if you save $50 a week, that's $2,500. Forget $50 a week. $50 a month, that's $600. Put interest compounding on that, Chris. Boom, that money is gone. All I'm saying to you is, people, see all these ones. I love our crowd. Nobody has said
that's good
yet,
to see.
thank God. Okay,
Glad to see. Yeah, I'm definitely glad to see that.
I'm
setting up
100%.
an emergency fund is a big thing, especially being a rideshare driver, because you could be replacing your tires very quickly. Oil changes, every month for a lot of drivers who are doing it, especially full time. You're looking at cars that are continually getting a little bit more miles on them, a little bit more wear and tear. So you got to look at brakes. You got to look at possibility of transmission. You got to look at other things. What happens if your fridge goes bad? What happens if your your washer goes bad? Whatever it might be. You got to have that extra stuff just in case. What happens if it just becomes oversaturated and you need to take time off, or you get sick and you're not out there? There's a lot of different things there. So you want to make sure that you are able to get out there and put a little bit of money extra aside, just so you can have that emergency fund going. And then beyond that, there's a few other things too, like making sure you have the right insurances, considering a health and savings, or an HSA, a health savings account, open up a retirement account. We talked about that with the IRAs, different avenues that you can take there. So there's a lot of different things that you can do.
But ultimately, you got to be your own CFO. This is a business you're running. This is not hocus pocus bullshit. Let me collect money from the remaining equity in my car to pay short-term bills, and 6 months later, I got nothing to show for it. My back is hurting, and my car is into shit. Please, people, I cannot emphasize this enough. I don't care what you do with the money. Just put it in there. Put it in an interest-bearing account. Buys, don't trade stocks. That's fool's game. Unless you're a pro, don't get into that. You can accumulate wealth by little by little by little by little. If you're in your 50s, 60s, you should have good retirement funds already. If you don't, it's always time to start. It's never too late. Yes, you have less time to accumulate wealth, but it is never too late. You must.
They say the best day to start was yesterday. The second best day to start is today.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So go open an account at Schwab, go open an account at TD Ameritrade, Webull, whoever they are. Go open it. Hey, we have a sponsor called Mymo. Go look into their banking account. They have it. They're a bank. There you go. Perfect fit. It's shown, it's in the link. The link is in the show notes.
The other thing too is it says keep up on estimated taxes. That's one thing that they do. They have the financial goal planning that you can do. You're accumulating all of your earnings into one position, one spot, so it's easy to track. And again, it's a free app, so it just goes above and beyond there. So again, link for that is going to be in the description. It is Mymo. We did talk about that at the beginning, but for all those who aren't watching or didn't know about the app, check it out, Mymo, because you're not just able to aggregate all of your earnings into one spot, but again, you're able to help with your financial goal planning, as well as getting that tax estimates for.
Do not follow that advice.
What?
Do not follow that advice right there. Oh, not that one. I don't know where it went, but okay.
There's always one who says that.
Yeah, that was okay. Well, I'm not sure what that is, but the other thing, Chris, is that you have to. I preach a lot, but I do it, right? You have to have separate accounts for separate things. I don't like commingling all my accounts into one and writing checks out of one account. That way you spend the money you really shouldn't be spending. If you have like separate accounts, you can really keep track of things a lot easier, because some people maybe can do it. I don't. What I like is I have this fund here, I have this fund here for this, I have this fund here for this. Every month I can add to it. If you have kids, you can add to their education funds, things like that. So I like keeping things separately. And in this day and age, this free investing, I mean, no commission trading, meaning, we talked about that a couple of weeks ago. A dollar cost average, go buy the stock market. Stock market has done beautifully over the last 150 years. It returns better than any other asset class. All I'm saying is save some money every week. Drip, 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 drip. It's an avalanche at the end of the year. Trust me, people.
Yep.
So there you go.
Yep. Well, one thing I want to know is, where'd you get the hat and the shirt from?
Okay, so this came with the first segment. Actually, I know my worth. If I'm going to sell myself, I'm definitely going to sell it for a lot more than $500.
You got to add
So,
like you got to add 4 more zeros to that. It needs to be a 7-figure.
4. I'll take 4. Yeah,
4 more zeros added to that. It's a 7-figure buyout.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, they have the money. If they want to shut me up. No, all joking aside. This is the merchandise. I'm affiliated with this company called Gig With It. The link is in the show notes.
I still haven't seen my shirt show up yet.
We're giving away this exact shirt today to one of you lucky people. Know your worth. By the way, one of the comments was, this guy's showing this, by the way. See, going back to segment 1. This guy's showing this because all the ants now are thinking that they're going to get the same thing and keep driving until they get it. Sir, whoever you were, because I'm not on Facebook, if you watch this show for any length of time, we have 2 hashtags here. 2 used to hang on my head, but then it got too tiring. Decline garbage. Know your worth. Now, if you don't know, then I think that Facebook comment was bullshit. But anyway, so we're going to give away one of these shirts. So what you have to do is put, what is it? Hashtag Gig With It, right? Link is in the show notes. The last thing is we're giving away $1 of each item sold on the website and personally from myself to victims of violent crimes during gig work. So we're paying back to the community. We're putting money into the GoFundMe pages. It's not that much money because it depends how many we're selling. But $1 by the company, $1 by myself, from me, is going into that fund, and we're contributing to poor victims. Carjackings, killings is happening quite often these days. But if you want to win this one, is hashtag Gig With It, and link show notes. Use Sergio, Sergio, if you're going to buy some shit on your own, to get an extra 15% off on top of 20% off sale that's going on now. The link is in the show notes. Sergio, and check out. It's by the way, it's really cool. The gold and blue, navy blue. This is like really cool. So there you go. And then Chris is not saying where's mine. I don't know.
Mine hasn't come in yet.
We Zoom. You know what I mean? My partner needs a shirt, so and a hat. I don't think I've ever seen you wear a hat, and I don't think you've ever seen me not wear a hat.
Very rarely. The only time I do is if I have my Instago 3, which is like this little camera for POV shots, and that's really about it.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yep.
So this is our another segment. This was sent to me by Jeff from Florida, who's my InDrive eyes and ears now.
And we will be talking about InDrive soon, so don't you worry about that.
Yep.
We got a lot of people asking.
Yep, definitely. A lot of people are asking about InDrive. We're in communication with the company. There are some questions need to be answered. We're going to answer it, hopefully. Well, they're going to answer it before I tell you guys. So, Jeff had a little trouble, Chris.
See, yeah. Oof.
Yeah. So Damir Kadimov from Lyft sent him this threatening email. He goes, "Hello, this is Damir from Lyft's safety team." By the way, Jeff does have a dash cam. So he goes, "I'm following up on concerns that his car smelled like marijuana. He's in Florida. Is marijuana legal in Florida? I'm not sure.
I
But
think medical is.
Is it? Okay. So they go to I go, this is the wrong guy to mess with, Jeff. Jeff, you don't want to mess with Jeff. So it says we want to remind you that it's against the TOS to smoke and drive. And Jeff goes, Tamir, thanks for the threat. I will give it the respect it deserves. If you did some investigating, you will see that 3 times in the past week, I submitted reports of passengers smelling like marijuana. I audio and video record every ride, and I make sure to let the animals, your customers, know. This is going to Lyft, by the way. He sent this to Lyft. Know that they smell like weed, and I will drive with the windows open. I make sure it is audio and video recorded. After those animals exit my vehicle, I spray Lysol. Unfortunately, marijuana is very strong. In 58 years, I have never done drugs, and I will voluntarily submit to any drug test you may require at any time. Here is some advice for Lyft. Don't threaten drivers. If you choose to suspend or deactivate me based on this type of claim, I will sue you for defamation, loss of wages, and wrongful deactivation. I agree. That's what I tell everybody who gets deactivated. Take them to small claims court for exactly these 3 reasons. As I said, I have audio and video, and I will at any time submit to a drug test. Furthermore, Lyft should do a better job of vetting their customers to avoid this. Did you deactivate the 3 riders I reported? I doubt it. That would cost Lyft money. I don't worry about what I can control. The next steps are yours to make. I don't take threats lightly, and this is no exception. Just like Jeff would say it, and here it is.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Don't mess with Jeff. Jeff just had a triple bypass, and he will mess you up. He lost some weight now, so so Lyft, with all due respect, we're going to talk about this too, Mr. Risher. This unjust, this threats, unjust deactivations. We need to fix this and support. See, I'm giving away all these things we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about upfront fares. We're going to talk about safety. We're going to talk about unjust deactivations. We're going to talk about all kinds of wonderful stuff in that half hour that we
have. Apoli.
Mentioned.
You heard it on the show now, Apoli.
Yes, we have. InDrive, definitely we have. Yeah. Apoli. I'm very curious about this TNC. Okay, Daniel Rivas, email me. Where is this at? Apoli? Is it in the US? I don't know. Well, we talked about another one, Wings and Rides, WRIDZ. The CEO is coming on next week. So InDrive, Wings and Rides. There you go.
All right, Apoli, let's see. Location here, what I'm going to do.
Apoli?
How do you say that?
They got Apoli?
Okay, so they're in LAX.
Daniel,
LAX,
I know who you are,
San Diego,
LAX. I know
Long Beach. Yeah, it looks like it's all pretty much going to be Southern Cali.
Really?
Yeah, it says Anaheim, Burbank, Disneyland, Hollywood, Long Beach, LA, Ontario, San Diego, and Santa Ana.
Hell yeah. I'm going to look into it now. I'm sure it's app-based. Is it app-based? I'm sure it's app-based, so.
I don't know. I just did a Google search to see what it is.
I'll get in touch with somebody at Apoli, and then it's a weird name, though. I don't know.
Yeah. You got to get something that catches.
Yeah.
But either way, hey, I'm all for multiple platforms, so.
More, baby, more tools in my toolbox. More.
Exactly.
More. With Curry, I'm up to 10, Chris.
Nice.
Yeah.
I have, let's see, Uber, Lyft, Curry. Hold on.
You don't do food, though. Do you do food?
I don't do food, no.
Okay, I do food too, so I'm up to 10.
Nice. I got Spark. So I'll do last mile, but mostly rideshare is what I end up doing.
Okay, all right.
So, all
Okay,
right, let's
the
see who's
peak
our
hours.
giveaway winner.
All right, here comes the shirt, people. Oh, for this shirt, you have to email me, Sergio@therideshareguy.com. James L. Nope, I'm sorry.
Cool Genuine Phil.
Cool Genuine Phil. Cool.
Like it.
Phil.
I like it. Nice.
I like that.
Congratulations.
I like the.
Congratulations,
That look good
Phil.
on you.
You're cool. You're genuine.
Cool and genuine. Okay,
Yeah,
you're
cool,
gonna look
genuine
really cool
Phil.
and genuine in this shirt. Email me, Sergio@therideshareguy.com. I need your physical address and I need your shirt size. So those two things are a must before we can order your shirt. Sergio@therideshareguy.com. Congratulations. Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Next thing we're going to be talking about. Oh,
this is from my buddy, my brother on wheels up in Portland. Nathaniel.
what do we say? What did we say? I saw him in the chat earlier.
Yeah.
What did we say?
Oh, fake name? What is that?
Yeah. What's going on here? Now this is where you could say, Sashin, what's going on?
Sexy. Really? Seriously?
I mean, this isn't Tesla, so.
I mean,
you can't be getting Model 3 and Model S and Model T or X and Y.
How excellent. If that's you, you have to email me, Sergio@therideshareguy.com. So I asked Nathaniel if she or he, because we can't do that anymore, was sexy. And he said it's in the eye of the beholder, like Nathaniel should, because he's very PC. Yeah, Sachin, what happened, buddy? What's going on? Seriously.
Mm-hmm. How is this not flagged?
I don't know. Sexy. I mean, it's cool. It's cute. Whatever. It's not a real name.
It's definitely not.
You think it's real? No, it's not real. I mean, come on.
No, it's definitely not.
Okay. Yeah, Uber. Let's go. Yeah.
All right. Before we move on.
Yeah.
If anybody would like to come on the show, we are going to do. We got a couple more quick segment. Actually, 2 more segments. If you'd like to come on the show, the link is going to be right here. That's going out into the world, and if you want to click that, you can. A couple of things to note: 5-minute max. If there's, if you're in a loud area or something, try to go to a quiet area, something so we can hear and all that. If you're listening to the show when you're on, please turn it down, just so then that way we're not hearing an echo or anything. Otherwise, we're gonna have to cut you off, things like that. So
don't watch yourself.
Come on, if you got some questions, comments, anything. If you want to air your grievances on, a couple of things that we've talked about today throughout the show. If you've got some grief or something to kind of get out off your chest when it comes to Uber and Lyft and all that, let us know. And you can definitely, again, put the link out there if you want to join. We're going to bring people on.
Don't be shy, people. Don't be shy.
Is interested. Yeah, for anybody who's interested. Before that, we do want to give away our final $25 of Sergio's money. So it's Sergio, or it's hashtag SMTMC.
I'm down to 725. Mr. Know Your Worth is here. Okay.
Well, we're gonna do our last segment before we start bringing people on. So you are in the queue first.
Get in the green room.
And we will be doing that. So let's get our next segment, which is these AVs, man. You just don't know how to drive.
This we talked about this last week, but I just found the picture. This is the one that the fire truck hit, smashed it. Look at all the airbags are off. There was a passenger in this car, by the way, in the cruise.
Luckily they're okay. They were injured though. No fatalities or anything. So that's a good thing to hear. At least, unfortunately, still injured though.
These things are somehow, with all the bells and whistles, Chris, with all the LiDAR, radar, cameras, are not getting trained. AI is not learning what to do when they hear sirens. Okay. What do we do when we hear sirens? We just freaking stop wherever we are. We don't move.
Well, we look around to make sure if they're behind
If we can
us,
pull over, we pull
around,
over.
coming up.
Yeah.
We take a note of what's going on. These things need some sort of microphone to be able to pick up a siren and know exactly what's going on, because I don't think they have microphones on them or anything.
I don't know what they have, but this thing got smashed. And I mean, feel bad for the passenger. I'm really actually, I want to call Brian Greening about this. We should have him on the show again. Maybe he knows who they're going to sue. I mean, how that legality works. It's a brand new thing, right? And we don't know. But
Well, again, it's going to be under who's the owner of the vehicle. It's the owner or the operator. There's no operator, so it goes to the owner in this case.
And
obviously, there's going to be, there's still some legal gray area when it comes to it. But yeah, the liability will fall onto Cruise or Waymo or whoever it might be.
Yeah, and the Department of Motor Vehicles told Cruise 50% of the fleet needs to go away until you guys learn how to fucking deal with these fire trucks. So this is the other one that I just caught the screenshots of. Okay, everybody pay attention. Do you see how the Cruise is just going into, crossing? The Cruise had the green light, by the way. This wasn't the car's fault. But where the fault came in is that the Cruise sees the green light, starts going, crossing, obviously, to the other side, right? It's not making a turn. Do you guys see on the left, you guys see some headlights? Like, pay attention really close on the left side of the Cruise now, right? That's like some sort of a muscle car about to run the red light, okay? There was no passenger in this car, by the way, so you people know. What did the Cruise do? So what would a human do when a car is coming right at you, about to T-bone you? What would you do, Chris? Would you just kind of stop?
You get out of the way.
You would speed up.
Get out of the way.
Yep. Get out of the way. You punch it, and these electric cars have, great punching power. You step on it, you're gone, right? And what did this Cruise do, Chris? Deer in headlights, bro. It stopped, and
then it gets
smashed into pieces, got T-bone, and then this is the end result. This is what happened. And I'm like, wow, look at this disaster. Luckily, that guy on the left, on the lower left-hand side of the screen, luckily there were two light poles or traffic light poles or whatever. Both of them got stuck there. Otherwise, this guy probably would have gotten smashed too if they kept going. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he got out of the way, and there goes the second accident within a week. So these cars, we had a guest last week, Ali Kashani, who was the CEO of Serve Robotics. He said, and I'm going to repeat this every time I talk about AVs. This guy's a PhD in robotics. He goes, we have level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nothing is level 5, and it will not be for a decade or two to come. All these cars are level 4. They don't know what the F is going on. So they keep getting smashed, and we don't need these things. Put a coin on these things. Get it over with. There we go.
Yeah. So it's a real problem. All right, we got a couple people in the back room. Appreciate it. We're going to get to you guys in the order that you came. The first thing that we're going to do, though, before we bring on Mr. Know Your Worth, is we are going to see who is our winner of hashtag SMTMC, and we're going to do that right now. Give me 1 second.
Email me, whoever the winner is, Sergio@therideshareguy.com, please.
All right, Mo. Congratulations, Mo. Welcome to Mo's.
All right, so we got William Damasio, the first winner. Mo Nuri is the second $25 winner, and the t-shirt winner is Cool and Genuine Phil. Congrats. You guys will get the money probably tomorrow if my virtual assistant does it. If not, the next day. T-shirt probably in a week. So that's it.
All right.
Let's go. Rules of engagement, people. We're going to keep doing this. We love interacting with you. 5 minutes or less. Say where you're from, how many trips, how many years under your belt, and let's go.
What's up?
All right. How's it going?
Hey, Mr. Know Your Worth. I love that. What's happening?
Thank you. I got the inspiration from watching y'all's show for the past year or so. Really, ever since like upfront fares has come to my markets, because I tend to bounce between Atlanta and Greenville, South Carolina. Currently, I'm working in the Greenville, South Carolina market, as I'm trying to get my real estate license for the Greenville or for the South Carolina market. So figuring, not two birds out with one stone. And I'm currently trying to drive for Uber as I'm trying to obtain this license.
Do you drive for both other apps?
Oh yeah, I'm on DoorDash, Instacart. Instacart's been pulling some weight low key. Picking up Uber slack from the upfront pretty much bullshit that you have to deal with nowadays. The charity that they try giving out to drivers, like 15-mile trips for like $12. No.
Pass.
Decline. Just decline garbage. So what can
That's
we
what
help
it is.
you with
Know your
today?
worth.
What can we help you with today?
I had a question. So I've had screenshots and I've sent them to Uber about cancellation.
Don't.
I've gotten messages on the Uber app saying that I'm eligible for a cancellation fee. So I'm going to cancel because I'm not going to wait more than the timer allots, because Uber pays you 10 cents per minute. Yep. Well, I never got my cancellation fee, so I will message Uber with the screenshots, and Uber will respond back to me saying that they didn't detect that there was anything on their end, even though I showed them the actual screenshots that I canceled and that I could cancel with the fee. And they were trying to say, no, that didn't happen. You weren't right on that. But they're like, pretty much to shut you up, we'll give you $10 and move you on your way.
Yeah. Okay. So my suggestion is this. We're going to talk about this actually with Mr. Richard too when he comes on. This happens quite often, not just on Uber and Lyft as well. You just worked a full day shift, whatever you did, 2 hours, 5 hours, 8 hours. Why should you even bother with this? You have the technology. My PIN was next to the passenger's PIN. The clock ran down. Just give me my freaking $2 or whatever the heck the cancellation fee is, and let's move on. We shouldn't be jumping through these hoops, spending 45 minutes to chase our own rightly earned money for $2-3. You know what I'm saying? And these are the things we're working on. So,
well, if I have the physical evidence that proves my case, how am I wrong?
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. What you are is you're part of the 2.3 billion trips that they did. They did 1 million trips exactly in that hour that you were driving, right? And with scale comes support problems. We all know this from many other companies, and as you know, I'm not defending any of these people, but it's going to happen with scale. But it should be more automated. I think that's the solution. Instead of you taking screenshots, you sending to a bot responding, all this good stuff, we should just eliminate this back and forth. And I agree with you. You have the evidence. Unfortunately, their support codes are not written that way, and they're going to try to get rid of you.
Talk with an actual human instead of a bot would alleviate a lot of these support problems.
Not enough humans, man. Let me tell you something. 2.3 billion trips they did in the last quarter. Mr. Know Your Worth. What's your name, by the way?
Jonah.
Okay, Jonah. 2.3 billion trips. You think there is enough humans in Philippines to do all that?
I mean, there's a lot.
Yeah, there's a ton, but
I do. I feel like I got that resolution, even though they accused me of saying that I wasn't being truthful. After I repeatedly say I wanted to talk to a supervisor, and I wasn't going away, and it took me, I want to say it took me like a week to get that money.
Yep, there you go. Week of wasted energy on both sides. Week of wasted. This is the problem with these companies. It's just so much wasted time. While you're doing this, you could be doing trips. You could be making them more money. They don't understand this. You know what I'm saying? Just give me my fucking $3, and I'll be doing more trips for you. You can recoup that $3 on one next trip that I'm going to do for you. I mean, this blows my mind. These are all Harvard graduates. They don't freaking understand. I'm like, okay.
And I mean, I feel like Uber could have always been profitable if they would have cut some of the coders like what Lyft has done. Maybe not to the maybe not like bring it down to 1,000, but like do you really need 33,000 employees that are making like 6 figures a year? Like, I don't
Nope.
think so.
Nope.
Like, if you're
Nope.
wanting to automate it more, well, then I think you need to cut. I think you need to do more cuts if you want to make more profits.
I agree. All right, man. You know, Jonah, thank you so much for showing up. Hope you keep watching us. Hope you're learning some stuff. Hope you're picking up some pointers from us, and hope you started making more money since you started watching us.
I have. Decline garbage, know your worth. Have a good one.
Thumbs up, baby. Right. And I love that screen name. Welcome to the CPU.
Yep. All right, Mohammed.
Mohammed, where's your pretty face, Mohammed? No face.
The camera is black.
Oh,
okay.
Looks
next
like
one.
he got kicked
MJ Kaufman.
off.
I know MJ.
MJ,
Kaufman.
how's it going?
Hey.
Oh dear.
Okay, Mickey Mouse. Something.
Hold on.
Hold on.
Something's going on there, MJ, with your speaker.
Yeah.
It sounds like you're a chipmunk when you're speaking. So, not sure what's going on there, but hopefully, if we bring you back in, let's try again. Hello?
Nope.
Oh, nope. Still the same thing. If you want to go back and try clicking the link again, and come back in, yeah, reload the page, and hopefully that will that'll help with your microphone.
Mohammed, you're up.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes. Yeah. How you doing?
No.
Nope.
What's going on? Is it us?
I don't know.
It's not us. I don't know.
All right, we'll throw the link in the chat one more time because
grab the link, people. Don't be shy now.
Not sure what's going on.
Dad. Yeah, Driven Dad. I haven't seen you since Denver.
Oh, he's been in the chat. Don't worry.
No, I know he's in the chat, but I haven't seen his beard for.
I haven't seen his bug. Yeah. Well, you know,
he's
got to take care of little baby beard. That's in the cooker right now.
Number six. Yep. Yeah. So if anybody wants to come on, you know, next time we should do this like after each segment. We should do like put the link out and then have one person come after you. Okay, Mohammed, one more chance, Mohammed.
Yes. Good evening. Calling from Dearborn, Michigan, hometown of Ford Motor Company. I got a couple of questions.
Yeah.
One of the things I'm always complaining about is trip radar. Do you think Uber should have like an update where we can opt out of it? I mean, 95% of the trips that I receive are really not worth taking, you know. And the other things is, you know, this week being Labor Day, there's a lot of events and students going back to college, and some of the trips from the airport are just, you know, not even worth taking. And you know, I wish Mr. Risher, if Mr. Risher wants to get his $900 million, he has to pay me because I want to help him get it. If he's not going to help me get money, I don't want him to succeed. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with you. So when it comes to Trip Radar, if you've been watching us for a while, you know what I say about Trip Radar. Because where trips go to die, so that's why 95%.
Okay, I mean, yeah, I mean, I watch on and off. You know, it's
okay. So that's why we say about Trip Radar. Trip Radar number one, okay, is first of all is unsafe.
That's right.
Open up on your screen, you know, I think totally unsafe. So you know how to shut the Trip Radar down, right? So if you're accepted trip, go to your app, swipe up.
Oh yeah.
Right? No more new requests, no Trip Radar, nothing will show up. So you know.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Yeah, I know that.
Yeah.
Yep.
And when it comes to pay, look, I'm telling you, when it comes to pay, how long you been driving? With Uber?
But on and off since July of 2015.
Yeah, see, you're a vet, right? You know what you're doing.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
how has your pay been? You know, is it going up or down?
Well, I really have to grind it because, you know, I'm at 25% at an Uber acceptance rate, and like last week it was like 35.
Yeah.
Here's an example. Last week there was a Barry Manilow concert in Detroit with the Detroit Tigers playing baseball. Yeah. I mean, at that time they were sending me trips that are like excuse me, garbage. You know, I mean,
Yeah,
it's
no,
not
it's true.
garbage,
Yeah.
and you know, it's so. You know, I'm about maybe like what is it, 12,000 trips between. I didn't drive 2 years during the pandemic, so it's
Okay.
you know I have like about 4.95. You know, excellent customer service, but you know, I mean, look,
Yeah.
you know who's. Yep.
So, how many trips do you think you have under your belt in those on and off 6 years, 7, 8 years actually?
About 12,000.
Okay. All right. So you're
Yeah.
definitely a veteran.
Yeah.
Have you been watching us for a while? The replay, especially if you can't watch us live, because I don't know if look basics apply to in each city, but basics are basics. Like
Yes. Yes.
have you seen a change in your city as far as surge and demand is concerned since schools opened?
Well, actually, college didn't start yet. No, there is hardly any surge. I mean, even the airport, you know, with it's showing us so many flights on an average day. Like when there's like sporting events, sometimes the surge goes like to $5, but
Okay.
maybe like later at night it goes up. But you know, I don't work the nights.
Okay.
So
And last question to you is: do you like upfront fares or do you like miles and minutes?
well, I mean, I no, I don't like upfront fares. I'm like from the old 80-20 hours at 80% 20. I like the old the old surge better
Okay.
because you know but back in the day, 2015, when Michigan played Michigan State, the surge went up to eight times. You know, like
Okay.
the famous
Thanks.
fumble.
Yeah.
You know, but I mean, if it's what is it, 3 4 times, it's fine with me because that's good enough. But the upfront fare is really not. I got inspection and I got my auto insurance due this week, so but I'll cover on them. But it's I'm gonna make a video and explain that to Uber and Lyft, saying that if I'm not gonna if we're not gonna make money to cover these things, then what are we driving for?
Yeah. Well, anyway,
Yeah.
man, listen, thank you for coming on. Much appreciated. Thank
You're
you for your
welcome.
support.
Thank you for allowing me. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure meeting you.
Pleasure
Thank
is
you.
ours. Thank you for your support. Keep
Thank you.
supporting us. We're going places. So thank you so
I
much.
will. Thank you.
Have a good one, Muhad.
You're
Thanks.
the same. Have a good day. Thank you.
All right. Then we got Sabin. Sabin? How you doing?
Sabin. What's up,
Hi, you
Sabin?
guys.
Yes and no.
Yes and no. The
Oh,
browser has lost connection.
Ooh,
Do you
we
guys
can
hear
hear
me again?
you, but
well, we can still hear you, so
we
that's
can
good.
hear you.
Okay, so thank you guys for getting me in. There's so much to talk about it, but I tried to reach Serge a couple of emails. I have a full-time job, just getting back home from my full-time job, and for the past 5 years, six, I've been ride sharing around New York City and New York suburbs. It's a lot to dig into that. Even from a legal
I
perspective.
I got your email again today. I took a look at it, but today we're getting ready for the show. So,
Yes, so it's a lot. That's going to be for probably another time to get into it, because there's just so much and it's so intertwined. The way they're separating the markets, because I'm pretty sure there are other states that have the same regulation. They just don't follow, and
yeah.
pretty much they cannot have independent TNC drivers pick up in New York City and the 5 boroughs, which is a pretty large area, and they use this TLC licensed drivers to do pickups, filtering trips going back to New York City. New York City had a law in place, voted through the council, similar to minimum wage type stuff that they do in other states, and that forced them with the same threats, similar threats that they had. They were forcing drivers offline. They wouldn't let them go in because it was based on some formula with utilization rate and so on. but they still use those drivers to pick up everywhere else outside New York City. Connecticut, you think about it, 50 miles out in New Jersey, Long Island, New York City, which is basically the highest second tax district in as far as real estate goes, where I live in Nassau County. So they're paying, just so you guys have an idea, 56 cents a minute in New York City, and they're paying 17 cents a minute in Nassau County, 70 cents a mile in Nassau County versus 1.31 in New York City. Same thing, Jersey is even lower, 13 cents a minute. It's ridiculous. So they're using this especially great TLC drivers that are supposed to get this minimum pay based on the law in New York City, and they're filtering all these trips back to New York City with the excuse that it's a different market, they can pay anything they want. So that's one thing. I did send you an email that was related to the first guy you guys had in and talked about the cancellation. It got so bad that last night, I'm in the way back home, a new US Open is literally thousands of cars picking up at 12 o'clock at night. Instead of coming back home to sleep, to wake up for my main job the next day, I'm setting up a destination towards my house, and I accept the trip. I'm waiting for like over 20, I think it was 24 minutes in line to go get into this huge parking lot at the US Open Stadium setup. You guys know it. And the counter was on the trip after 24 minutes, where I was a mile and a half away, and I got closer to the rider, circling around the parking lot, and then the rider canceled. I get zero cancellation fee. 24 minutes. It took me another 20 just to get out of that mess from there. So it's getting so bad that literally there's just no words to explain. How is it that you're counting a trip and you're giving so much to this rider? It was a good rider. It had 200 something trips. It had 4.9 rating, a face picture in the. So I really believe waiting and going through all that to pick the riders up, but the rider is not the rider sport, right?
Okay, so let me stop you here for a second. So the first thing that you said, I get a lot of emails from Long Island, New Jersey drivers saying that they're forced to go into the city, but then they cannot pick up in the 5 boroughs to go back out. That has to change. I mean, that's bullshit. But the reason they don't have upfront fares in New Jersey is because exactly that if anybody sees that they're going into the city, the 5 boroughs, they're not allowed to pick up. They're not going to do those trips. That's number one. That's why they don't have upfront fares. And everybody says, how come we don't have upfront fares in Jersey? Well, that's exactly right.
I can make a short comment. Maybe that brings more things to light. So New York City is
that's first thing. The second thing is when you're working events like the US Open, and I'm assuming you're talking about tennis, right?
Yes.
Okay, so Flushing Meadow or whatever it is now. Our advice always is, when you are working events and stadiums and they have pre-designated pickup areas, never, ever, never pick up in those areas. Even if it's a mile from the stadium, you don't want to do that. The demand around the surrounding areas, the surge around the surrounding areas is enough for you to do the trip, and you actually getting stuck for 24 minutes waiting for somebody. I'm not sure why. I would have canceled after 5 minutes and took off. Look, if they're not going to pay you, they're not going to pay you. So I'd rather not get paid after 5 minutes than not get paid after 24 minutes.
Yeah, so that's totally fine. A loss on my side is not. But I wonder how long they're going to be able to keep drivers just pushing this to
I've been saying that, Sabine, for the last 12 years. Unfortunately, they're not running out of drivers, and they have more drivers today than they had last year and the year before. So
drivers have complaints, but I do have an explanation. Those complaints are not totally legit, because when we try to get governments involved and stuff, governments don't know how to run businesses, right? These businesses have to compete with themselves and give a good kind of an offer to a rider, and they have to make money. So when we force government to make minimum pay and stuff like that, that's not gonna work either. I don't see that as a working solution. I see as a working solution to not comment about independent contractors and no benefits. We want them.
I agree with you 100%, and that's why I love what the TLC did in New York City, and I love what Seattle City Council did in Washington State, and I love all these cities that are trying to play the same game in smaller cities and spreading to the states. And so when we do need help, right, we're going to call out for drivers to do this.
That's causing the limitation, exactly what you pointed out. Drivers from New Jersey, they will never go with a ride in New York City where they know they have to pay the tolls, and they don't, or they're not able to pick up, because New York City is a tough legislation, and they cannot allow regular drivers to pick up there unless you're commercially licensed with $5,000-$6,000 insurance a year, and so on. And what my comment was, with all these complaints, we have to understand these companies, they only have to change one thing, not even all this stuff that we look back to surges and upfront pricing. All they need to do, and nobody should be blaming them, is allow us to set our own rates so we compete with ourselves. That's free market. You can't have a government making $5 a mile rate, and then you're not going to have the demand for it, right? So if they allow us to do our own rates, that's free market. Okay.
Yeah,
and
I agree with you, but I agree with you, and then hopefully InDrive will allow you guys to do that if it comes to New York or near suburbs of New York. Be on the lookout for that. But hey, man, we got to cut you up. We don't want to do it, but sorry, 5 minutes is up.
One more thing, if I might mention, about the competitor, which I'm hearing stories they're picking up in New York City where I see it, and I see people talking about insurance, and I don't know what kind of insurance it demands on the TNC company. But I know for a fact everybody who's picking them up in New York City, they're coming from DC. They're killing in DC, and if I might mention their name, I'm not sure. Nobody's paying me for this, right? But
I mean, you'll have another chance to come on. Next week, the week after. We're here every Tuesday. Let's not do all of it at once. Thank you for coming on. Much appreciated. Thank you for the support. Keep watching us. Spread the word. Grow our community. Thank you so much.
Sure.
All right. Any last things, Sergio? Anything going on?
Oh, I was like, no, daydreaming about my contract with with Uber. No, man, nothing is going on. It's hot as balls in LA again. It's about 102. I'm gonna finish this jump in the pool. Look, man, thank you for all the community support. Seriously, without you guys, we can't do this. We got to keep doing it. We're gonna hold their feet to the fire. This is not just talk. We're really working a lot in the background. So. If I do get another ride challenge, not this weekend, I didn't get it. We'll put that up and play that game a little bit more. But tomorrow I'm gonna do my curry trip. I'm gonna do a curry trip tomorrow.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm gonna try to. I got a doctor's appointment with my son in the morning, but hopefully after that, be able to turn it on and see. So we'll see. And make sure you guys stay tuned. Tomorrow is Money Hungry with Kim and Zach. A lot of great videos coming out for this week. So if you're not already subscribed, you should be. If you're not watching on YouTube, make sure you head over to the Rideshare Guy channel on YouTube, subscribe, because there's a lot of great content coming out from there. We have a lot of great content too planned over here on Show Me the Money Club with David Risher coming up in a couple of weeks in September. We'll let you know more information as we kind of are able to secure that date or the dates and figure it out. We have a couple of other guests coming on, especially what's going on with Chicago. We're going to be talking about the ordinance there. A lot of different things that are going to be happening over the next couple of weeks. So make sure you're subscribed, and make sure on Tuesdays, it's Show Me the Money Club live Tuesday, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. Oh, one last thing I did forget to mention. We do have a Discord now, a Rideshare Guy Discord. So if you want to join the Discord, keep the conversation going, whether it's, ordinances, whether it's grievances, whatever it might be, make sure you check out the Discord. Link is going to be in the description below, so you can get into the RSG Discord and check that out. I did forget that at the beginning of the show too.
Thank you, everybody. MJ Kaufman. Actually, we're going to do an interview with you anyway. So, yeah.
Sorry, MJ, that happened.
Yeah. So
Sometimes there's some issues.
you know what?
With
Next time we do this, yeah, well, let's do this like every segment, 1, 2, or 1 or whatever. So I want to
we'll see. It just
actually,
depends on time.
Defenestrator, why don't you come on next time for 5 minutes? Huh? My original troll who got replaced by Joe Driver. But now we're seeing eye to eye with the defenestrator. So.
Everybody's got common ground. Don't worry. Everybody does.
We you know, he's actually, you know what? I have respect for him now because he knows his shit. He can actually help our cause quite a bit. But anyway, everybody, thank you. Please thumbs up. It's free. I mean, shit. We gave you money. We gave you a shirt. I didn't get sold. Put the freaking thumbs up there, man. Come on now. We're not asking for much.
Jeff, appreciate it. Thanks.
Jeff, I'm definitely going to have one of those. Now that I'm not sold, but I know my worth. You know, Lyft, you know what I mean? Wink, wink. Uber. No, man.
All right. Well, you guys have a great rest of your night. Have a great rest of your week, and go out there, make that money, and let us know how much you've made.